You are lying still. Your eyes are closed. Your breathing has slowed to almost nothing. And yet, behind your eyelids, something is moving. A hallway that doesn't exist. A conversation with someone who has been dead for years. A version of your childhood home with one extra room you've never seen before. For the next several hours, your brain will manufacture an entire universe and then erase most of it before you wake. Most people believe dreams are leftover noise, random firing, mental static the brain produces while it idles. That belief is comforting. It is also almost certainly wrong. Every night, your brain does something no machine on Earth can replicate. It disconnects you from your senses. It paralyzes your muscles deliberately, chemically, so that your body cannot act out what your mind is about to do. Then it begins generating a fully rendered world. Faces, physics, fear, logic that almost makes sense until it doesn't. Somewhere between unconsciousness and waking, you become both the author and the prisoner of your own story. We have known this happens for as long as humans have slept. What we have never agreed on is why. For most of the 20th century, one man's answer dominated the conversation. Sigmund Freud proposed that dreams were disguised wishes, forbidden desires smuggled past a mental censor while you slept. It was elegant, it was unprovable, and for decades it was treated as fact. Then, in 1953, two researchers at the University of Chicago noticed something stranger than any theory had predicted. Sleeping subjects' eyes were moving rapidly, repeatedly, as if watching something. They woke the sleepers mid-movement. Almost every time, the subject had been dreaming. This was the discovery of REM sleep, and it didn't just reveal when dreams happen. It revealed that the brain during dreaming is not idling at all. It is almost as active as it is awake. Here is where the story should have become simple. It did not, because if the brain is that active during dreams, the next question becomes unavoidable. Active doing what? One answer came from neuroscience in the 1970s, the activation synthesis hypothesis. The brainstem fires chaotic electrical signals through the night. The cortex, the part of you responsible for meaning, scrambles to interpret the noise. A dream, in this view, is simply your mind's best guess at explaining randomness, a story stitched together from static. It is a humbling idea. It suggests the most vivid emotional experience of your night might not be more than your brain refusing to admit it doesn't know what's happening to it. But this theory had a problem. Random noise should produce random stories. Dream content is not random. Across cultures, across centuries, across thousands of recorded dream reports, certain patterns appear again and again: falling, being chased, losing teeth, arriving somewhere unprepared, exposed too late. These are not the dreams of static. These are the dreams of threat. In the early 2000s, Finnish researcher Antti Revonsuo proposed something unsettling. Dreaming evolved as a simulation, a nightly rehearsal space where the ancient brain could practice danger, predators, conflict, social rejection, without any of the real-world consequences. Under this theory, the terror you feel in a nightmare is not a malfunction. It is training. Your ancestors who dreamed of the leopard in the dark may have reacted faster to the leopard in the daylight. The horror was the point. But threat alone cannot explain everything either. Why do you sometimes dream of flying, of speaking to the dead, of impossible joy? More recent research has pointed somewhere else entirely, toward memory itself. Studies using brain imaging have shown that during sleep, the hippocampus replays fragments of the day's experience, compressed and accelerated, transferring them toward longer-term storage in the cortex. Dreaming, in this view, may be what memory feels like while it's being rewritten. You are not watching random images. You may be watching your own mind archive itself, and in the process, fuse memories that were never connected before. A stranger's face merges with your mother's voice. A childhood fear attaches itself to tomorrow's meeting. This is not malfunction. This is creativity's raw machinery running with the lights off. It may be where new ideas are born before you ever notice them arriving. So, which theory is correct? The threat simulation? The memory consolidation? The random noise the cortex desperately narrates into meaning? The uncomfortable answer is that researchers still do not fully agree, and the data cannot yet settle it. What they do agree on is something stranger than any single theory. Every human being who has ever lived a full life has spent roughly 6 years of it dreaming. 6 years, unconscious, inside worlds that vanish the moment you open your eyes. 6 years of experience that you cannot fully remember, cannot control, and cannot prove was anything but your own mind alone, in the dark, talking to itself. Tonight, when you close your eyes, the performance will begin again. Paralysis, hallucination, a story your brain insists on telling you, whether or not you ever learn the reason why. And somewhere inside that story, story. Something in you will keep doing what it has always done, rehearsing the danger, archiving the day, and quietly, patiently becoming whoever you wake up as tomorrow.